That's Okay. Shall we start? Shall we start, Lamai? Hope all of you can hear me. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, Miss, we can hear.
Thank you. So good evening. We are here. I would like to welcome you all to this AAT exam seminar. Today we are going to discuss our BMA paper, right? It's a model paper. And yeah, so here I'm expecting you to discuss with you about the most important areas that you should know for your upcoming exams, as well as here I have given you some exam style questions. So yeah, let's discuss and about and how to approach them confidently in your upcoming exams. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. First of all, I would like to share, let me share my screen first. Okay. So, this is my paper, which I gave you last year. Sorry. This is the one. So there, those students got there are around 4 questions from this model paper, right? I have highlighted them here. If somebody wants this model paper, I can share that with you. If you would like to take this model paper that I have shared for January 2025 students. So you can get it from me. I can share it with you. If you want, you can send me a text and I'll share it with you. Okay. And today, I have shared this paper with you, this model paper with you, which I have focused on July 2025, right? So, yeah, I think most of you have read this carefully. I think all of you, right? Am I right? Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to give your opinions and answers, right? You can ask anything related to the subject, right? Okay. I request you to mute your like mute yourself, right? So, okay. Now when it comes to this model paper or else your paper, right? Here you will get how many questions? You will get around 50 questions, right? So the time allowed for you to complete this paper is 3 hours. There you will get 15 more minutes to read this paper and understand. So, right? So take that advantage and try to do those highlighting parts, right? So try to think about the easiest questions that you can ask. Please mute your, yeah. Arshad, Arshad, yeah. So there, take that advantage of that 15 minutes and try to highlight or try to underline the questions that you can write more easy answer more easily, right, quickly, right? So and get an understanding about the paper, right? So get the advantage of that 15 minutes first, and then you will get 3 hours for writing, right? So you have to answer all questions, and you have to use only one language, right, in the medium that you have applied for. If you are applying in English medium, you have to answer in English, right? And then state clearly assumptions made by you, if any, right? I assume, according to my point of view, right? Like that. And also, there's a verb checklist attached in your. I think most of you have seen that checklist, right? Verb checklist. So you have to refer that, and when you are constructing a answer, right? And you are getting 100 marks, full 100 marks, if you can answer very well. But the total mark allocated for this paper is 100 marks, right? So you will get marks out of this 100 marks, right? So your paper is divided into 3 sections. Section A, where you will get objective test questions. There you have to answer some MCQ questions, short answer questions, as well as some questions will be there like to fill the blanks kind of questions. So you will get the marks allocated for that section would be 25 marks, right? And then you will get this section B, right? It will focus on chapters, or in some questions it will cover 1 or 2 chapters, like that. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions would be there under section B, right? So there you will get marks out of 50, right? Total marks allocated for this section would be 50 marks. And here at the end, there will be a like essay type question, right? There's an essay on on some scenario, right? Case-based question. This is a case-based question. So you will get 25 marks for this, right? There you have to answer 4 or 5 questions, which is related to this case study. Right, so when you are answering this case study type of questions, you have to refer into the subject areas as well as you have to refer into this case studies as well. We'll see how we are going to answer these questions, right? So, is it clear? Can you hear me? Am I too fast? Fariha, I'll share it with you. Yeah, I'll share this January mock paper with you. Okay. So, when it comes to first question, shall we move on to the first question then? Yeah. Select the most correct answer for question. I'll share that mock paper with you, right? Okay. So select the most correct answer for question 1.1 to 1.5, right? And write the number of the selected answer in your answer booklet. What you should do is you have to write the number of the answer, right? So here it's 1.1, right? If you select the answer as, let's say, 4, so you have to write question 1, 1.1, the answer 4. Got it? Right? That's how you should answer, right? Otherwise, they will confused with your answers, or else you can't answer on the paper itself, right? So they will not get the paper, only the answer script. So you have to answer on the answer paper. So what would be the answer for the first question? 1.1. Huh? Give me your answers. You can share your ideas. You can share your answers with me now. So what would be the answer for first question? Which one of the following is a characteristic of bureaucracy as per Max Weber? Huh? So answer would be 4, right? Most of you have answered. So answer would be hierarchy, right? Hierarchy. So what are the other characteristics of bureaucracy as per Max Weber? There are clearly defined rules and regulations, right? So the bureaucracy, according to Max Weber, right, there are clearly defined rules. That means they have to operate based on the fixed set of written rules, right, and procedures. They are strict, and there's a hierarchical structure, right? That there are levels of control, right? Several levels in this structure. And you can observe division of labor and specialization. These are the characteristics of bureaucracy as per Max Weber, right? And also impersonality. So here, when it comes to decision making, these decisions based on rules, right? Not on personal preferences or not on relationships. When they are making what decisions, right? Those decisions are based on what? Rules and regulations. Got it? And also employment. When it comes to employment, it is based on technical qualifications, right? Not on personal favorisms. It avoids those personal favorisms. And these kind of characteristics are there. And also you can observe, like you can read this your PPT and also, right? So the hierarchy is one of the characteristics of bureaucracy. Got it? Shall I move on to the next? දැන් ටිකක් මතක් වුණාද මොකද්ද hierarchy මොකද්ද bureaucracy කියන්නේ කවුද Max Weber කියන්නේ? Okay. And then 1.2, so you have to write the answer as how, like you should mark question 1 on your answer script, and then you have to put 1.1, and then you can write the answer. Right? And then you can write 1.2. Which one of the following is a principle of total quality management? So total quality management, we are discussing this on operations management chapter, right? So those who are joined from Gampha branch, next week we are going to talk about this, right? So the total quality management, it's which one of the following is a principle of total quality management, right? So when it comes to total quality management, right? These principles of total quality management are, what are they? There's a process, right? So when it comes to total quality management, it totally focuses on the customer, and it has a strategic approach for improvement. They are focusing on what? Improvements, right? And improve continuously, not a one-time improvement, continuously, little by little. Oh, it's a continuous. They refer it as a continuous process, and it's an integrated process, like system, right? Interrelated, integrated with others, right? Other processes. And they highly appreciate the employee involvement and the communication, two-way communication, right? They're like decision making based on facts. So these are the principles of total quality management. So what is the answer for 1.2 here? What is the answer? What is the answer for total quality management? It's a one principle of total quality management. Is that so? According to this question, you have two answers, right? So, yeah. They highly appreciate employee involvement as well as integrated system. So I was focused on integrated system. Also, you can take employees involvement as well, right? Yeah. So when it comes to 1.3, Pariha, yeah, I saw your answers. I can see, right? මම ඔයාලා එවන message chat එකට දාන messages ඔක්කොම බලනවා ළමයි. So you can answer. You can switch on your mics and answer, or else you can send your messages to chat. Okay? And when it comes to 1.3, which of the following is identified as a technique used in job design? Technique used in job design, right? Function of HRM, right? This is related to chapter, HRM chapter, right? HRM. So, which of the following is identified a technique used in job design? So, what's the technique? What's the answer? What's the answer? It's So when it comes to job design, right, it is about creating and generating jobs for people, right, who are in an organization. They are focusing on creating and generating jobs, right? We consider job design as the primary function of HRM, that is job design, right? So here, right, there are some techniques that we can use when it comes to job design function. First one is a scientific technique. And then this under this, like when it comes to scientific technique, right? We can design job with small number of duties, right? Which we there we are focusing on increasing the job specialization, right? And there's another technique called job enlargement. So here we are focusing on increasing number of duties, right? And scope of the job. Job is there, right? But we are focusing on how we are going to increase number of duties which are related to this specific job or the scope, right? That is job enlargement. And when it comes to job, there's another technique called job enrichment, right? So when it comes to job enrichment, that is the process of empowering and increasing depth of the job, right? So depth. And there's another technique called job rotating, process of shifting one employee from one job to another within a certain period of time. During a certain period of time, we are shifting an employee from one job to another. This week, you are doing this job, and then on the next from the next week, we are like you have to do this job like that, rotating. His job is rotating from time to time or weekly, uh, certainly weekly basis or however within a period of time, right? And another technique is there which is called professional technique, right? Designing job according to certain accepted profession. And group technique is there as another technique, design job for a group of employees. So there are uh, several techniques for job designing, right? Scientific technique, job enlargement, job enrichment, job rotating, professional techniques, group techniques. So, what is the answer for 1.3 then? Amina, so teacher, can you please tell me some important and main question that could be tested? Yeah, I'll tell you. And also, I have to, first I will discuss this paper with you. And there also you can get some idea, right, about the questions that you will get. And then while explaining these questions, I will I'll give you like I can't totally tell you the things that comes to your exam because I'm not the examiner, right? But I can give you like the areas that you can like that could be tested, right? So yeah, keep in touch. Job enrichment. Yes, Kinuri. Sorry, Kinuri. So job enrichment is the answer for 1.3, right? Okay. So select the 1.4, select from the following the main function of management process. This is very easy, right? You will get this type of questions, which are very easy. Sometimes you will get questions like regarding efficiency, right? Effectiveness. So they will focus on these kind of very easy areas when it comes to MCQ, right? So what's the answer for this? This is very easy. It's three, right? Planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So, which one of the following is a requirement for effective segmentation? 1.5. There are few answers: differential, measurable, substantial, all of the above. What's the answer? So answer would be 4, all of the above. So when it comes to market segmentation under marketing management, right? Market segmentation, it involves like dividing a broad market. The market is a broad, like this market space is it's something broad, right? So this here, segmentation means it focused on dividing this broad market into smaller, distinct groups of consumers with similar needs or characteristics. That's how we are going to like define it. Market segmentation, right? So here, the help of market segmentation would be, so business can focus on specific segment, right? So by focusing on this specific segment, they can like cater them effectively or serve them effectively, right? So here there are requirement for this effective market segmentation. We call them MASDA, right? MASDA, MASDA. So it for like it says measurable, accessible, substantial, differential, and actionable. Right? So when it comes to measurable, that's the ability to quantify the size of purchasing power of this segment. Right? And then accessible means like feasibility to reach this segment. Right? And substantial means this segment should be large enough to be profitable. As a for us, it should be large enough to be profitable, right? The customer segment. Differential means this each segment should respond differently when it comes to marketing strategies. And actionable means clear marketing strategy should be developed for each segment. So we have to focus this each segment separately, right? And we have to set clear marketing strategies, right? So those are the requirement for effective marketing segmentation. So what are the answers? What is the answer?
All of the above.
Yes, all of the above. All of the above. Good. So we are moving to the second part of first question. Select and Select the correct word or words from those given in the within brackets to fill in the blanks of question number 1.6 to 1.10. Write select word or words in your answer booklet with the number assigned to the question. So you have to answer where on the booklet, right? And with the number assigned to that question. Remember that, right? So here, answer for 1.6 would be 1.6, and then you have to write the answer, right? You have to write the answer. So if it is, if the authority is the answer, you have to write 1.1, then authority as answer. Got it? Clear? Okay. So 1.6, there's authority, responsibilities given here. It's the legal right of a person to command his subordinates. So what is the answer? It is authority, right? So you have the like this power, right, of commanding someone. That is authority, right? You should know the difference between authority and responsibility. What is the difference between authority and responsibility? Huh? What's the difference between these two? Authority means, have you do you know the meaning of these two? So here, when it comes to authority, right, that is the right to give orders and make decisions or allocate resources, right? So it gives for a manager or a leader, legal or formal power to direct others, right? It's a legal or formal power. And also, when it comes to responsibility, it's a duty or an obligation to perform a specific task or given task, right? So here, a person is answerable for the performance of their duties, right? So when we are passing responsibilities, we have to like delegate the authority, right? That will match with the this responsibility should always match with the authority given, right? And yeah, so here hope you can remember that I have discussed delegation of authority, right? So what would be the answer here? So legal right of a person to command his subordinates. It's authority, right? Yes, Kenure, authority means legal right. A person has to give orders, a person can give orders, and responsibilities and obligation a person has, right? Yeah. Fariha, yes. Uh, authority, yes. Mushfika, authority is the answer for 1.6. The next one, recognition is an example for esteem or social needs per Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. So, what is this? අපි මේක කතා කරේ කොහෙද? It is under leadership and motivation, right? So, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, what are they? What are these 5 needs? Hmm? Can anyone remember? It's physiological needs or basic needs, safety needs or security needs, love and belongingness needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. This is a pyramid type, right? Pyramid එකක් වගේ නේද අපි discuss කරේ. So in the base, we can identify physiological needs like food, water, shelter, right? Which are very important, very essential for our survival. And when it comes to safety needs or security, that is about our job security, our financial stability, protection, right? And then love and belongingness needs or social needs. What is this? Affection, love, like social connections, right? That where we feel accepted by from others, like we feel like we are a part of a group or part of the society, right? So these kind of needs, social needs. Then esteem needs, self-respect, confidence, recognition, and status that we maintain, our achievements, right? these kind of things which we feel valued ourselves, right? We are getting respect from others. So those are the esteem needs. And then when it comes to self-actualization need, self-actualization needs, like it is the top. We can see those self-actualization needs in the top of the pyramid, right? So here, a person realize his potential, potential. So sorry, yeah, and his fulfillment, right? Creativity. So becoming, mute your mind, becoming the best version of oneself, right? That is self-actualization. So, okay. So what's the answer for 1.7 then? Recognition. Is that a social need? Yes, esteem. So it's a esteem need, right? It's a esteem need. Recognition. Okay. 1.8, downward, upward communication is moving information downward or upward, right? Communication is moving information from superior to subordinate. Huh? Superior to subordinate. Like this. This is the superior, and this is where the subordinate is, right? From superior to subordinate. This is called downward communication. It's downward, yes, Fariha. Yeah, from subordinate to superior, it's upward. Kiruli. Subordinates are here, and from if this communication flows from here to here, like employees or subordinates giving their opinions to their managers, superiors. So the communication flows from subordinate to superior, which is called upward. From according to this question, it's downward communication. It's moving information from superiors to subordinates, from here to here, right? So the answer would be downward communication. Michael Porter's five process model can be used to analyze the external or internal environment of the organization. So what is Michael Porter's five forces model? Huh? Michael Porter's five forces model. Can anyone remember? So there, Michael Porter discussed about what? So this Michael Porter's five forces model, it helps us to assess the competition, right, and the strength in the industry, not within an organization, right, in a industry, right? So, yes, Fariha, your answer is correct. So, I'll give you some small explanation about Michael Porter's five forces model before giving the answer, right? I think it's good. So you can uh, remind you, like refresh your memory, right? So Michael Porter's five forces model, there are five components here. First one is competitive rivalry or industry competition, right? Like here we are focusing on the number of competitors, industry growth, product differentiations, right? And then threat of new entrants, like how we see it for a new company to enter into the industry, right? So here the capital requirement, brand loyalty, right? Government regulations. So when it comes to more entrants, it increase the competition and also it will affect in reducing the profits. And when it comes to the third one, bargaining of power of suppliers. So how much power do suppliers have over pricing and terms? Like if there are few suppliers or unique inputs exist, right? They have a high power, right? They can decide the supply. They can decide on prices, right? So when there are powerful suppliers, they can increase the input cost, right? So it will again results in reducing profits. And the fourth one, bargaining power of buyers. This is from the customer's side. So how they can influence, or the customers can influence on prices, right? Like that. So few buyers. So uh, easy product switching. There's a high buyer power, right? So if they can easily switch into another product. And a strong buyer, they can demand lower prices. If we are having strong buyers, if they are demanding for a lower prices, right? So you have to do that, right? Or better service, you have to do that. So that's bargaining power of customers. Threat of substitutes. That's the fifth part of this Porter's Parforces model. So are there any alternative products in the market? Yeah, considering the market, no? So here, if there are more substitutes, right? So greater pressure on the pricing and the quality of this of our product, right? So there's a high threat and it will be also reduce the profitability. So what are the five forces model? Five forces in this model? It's competitive rivalry or industry competition, and threats of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers or customers, threats of substitutes, alternative products. So these are the five forces model. So what would be the answer? It should be external environment of the organization, right? So in blank concept, need and want of customers are focused. This is very easy. What is this? It's marketing, right? So we are moving on to the next. It's a So write short answers for question number 1.11 to 1.15. Now here it says write short answers, right? So when it comes to this state list, means you don't want to write lengthy questions, right? State means you have to mention, right? List means you have to make a list. You have to list down, right? Focus on this. State means something like just state, just mention, right? So here you are not going to explain, you are not going to give examples, right? So state two differences between efficiency and effectiveness. That means, so here I'm pretty sure that you will get a question from efficiency, effectiveness, productivity, right? So each year you have there's at least one question from that, right? They're focusing on efficiency, which is focused on efficiency, effectiveness, or productivity, especially efficiency and effectiveness. So you have to have a good idea about efficiency and effectiveness. That's my point of view, right? So state two differences. Oh, So efficiency means it's doing things right, right? So here we are focusing on minimum input for maximum output, right? And when it comes to effectiveness, it's doing things right, like achieving intended results. So you have to write 2 points, right? Which we can differentiate like between efficiency and effectiveness. Got it? And state 2 benefits that can be achieved through training in an organization. So, what are the advantages of training, right? That advantages that we can achieve through training in an organization. So, here there are a list of benefits, right? You can write any of those points, right? Only two out of them. So it will improve skills and performance, right? And it will increase job satisfaction. So this is from HRM part, right? So it will improve the morale. And if we have a trained set of people within the organization, so less supervision is required. So that's another advantage. We can reduce the number of accidents, right? And promotional opportunities would be there, and increase productivity. So these kind of advantages are there. So you have to write only two, and you are not going to give examples, right? You are not going to explain them, right? So just mention the advantages or benefits and state 2 reasons for the importance of branding. Importance of branding. So, what are the importance of branding for an organization? So, if we have a strong logo, right? For instance, think about McDonald's, Coca-Cola, right? So, it creates some recognition, right? So, that's an importance, right? And increase the business value. And it is very easy to acquire customers, attract customers, right? And employees, what about employees? They will be like more proud, more satisfied, right? We are working in this kind of organization. Our brand is this, right? And trust creation. So these are the uh, reasons or the importance of branding for an organization. Here also you have to mention 2 reasons. List 2 characteristics of good strategy. This is from the last chapter, right? Strategy. It's this Michael Porter's five forces model also from this chapter, right? So you have to focus a little bit on this as well. And this good strategy, what are the characteristics of a good strategy? It also a question from 2025 January paper as well. Yes, novelty. So list, you have to just mention, right? Novelty, intelligence, yes. Irfan? Yes, Kinuri, novelty, intelligence, deceptive, cost effectiveness. Good. So those are the answers, right? Novelty, or new or fresh, right? This strategy should be new or fresh, right? Secretly devised, like carefully and quietly planned. Intelligent, that should be smart and well thought out. Deceptive means mislead, like which we can mislead competitors, right? Here we when we are explaining, we like I told you that it should be ethical, right? But deceptive means like we should have that this our strategy may mislead competitors, right? Like keeping our true plans hidden until it's the right time. and cost effective, achieve the most with the least resources. So if you can't remember these terms, novelty, secretly devised, intelligent, deceptive, cost effective, right? If you can't remember these terms, just try to create like new or fresh, carefully and quietly planned, smart and well thought out, right? Try to create a matched like answer, but try to do your best, right? Try to write these specific words, but or else you can try your best with these other using your own words as well, right? So have you have to list down, right? So state three key functions of operation management for success of an organization. What are the key functions of operations management? There, under operations management, we are talking about six things, six key functions. Hope all of you can remember, right? Shahrukh Pereira, what do you mean by no? What do you mean by no? I just seen your like message. Okay, so state three key functions. What are they? We are talking about supply chain management, right? Uh, okay. And forecasting demand, like capacity planning, layout designing, production scheduling, quality management. So these are the key functions. So you have to state, only state, right? Three key functions. Like you can write supply chain management, forecasting demand, capacity planning, or else you can write layout design, production scheduling, quality management, or supply chain management, or layout design. Like you can mix them. Anyway, you have to state, only state three key functions, right? There's no any order. So that is how you should answer this short answer questions. This answer should be short, right? You have to answer as mentioned in the question. It might be state or it might be defined. So you have to only write the definition. Define by yourself. It might answer like define efficiency in your terms, in your words. So you have to write small definition on what is efficiency, right? Only the that answer. Not you are not going to give examples, right? අර පිටුවේ භාගයක් විතර පිරෙන්න ආන්සර් කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. මේ වගේ වට අපි ගොඩාක් we should focus on how we are going to manage our time, right? මේ 25 marks ගන්න මුල් 25 marks ගන්න it is very easy, right? You can quickly answer them. See, so you have to manage your time. And when you are moving to part B, right, section B, that will be tricky, right? It will. You have to focus on each question very well, right? You have to develop your answers. You have to think about examples. You have to give examples. Sometimes you have to explain them, right? They might ask list down. So you have to think about the mark you will get, right? So it says that list, right? And you will get only two. So are you going to give examples? Are you going to explain it? No. Only list two differences, right? And then state. And you will get only four, right? Like it is kind of a praise, right? And then explain. There you will get 4 marks. Explain two importances of decision making. So you have to explain it a little bit, right? So that's how you should think, right? You have to compare your question with the marks you are going to get, right? Not like හැම ප්‍රශ්නෙටම ගොඩක් උත්තර ලියලා මම එහෙම කරන්න කිව්වොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? You have to answer question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5, and question 6, right? In section B, within 3 hours, you have to answer at least 50 questions, right? So you have to manage your time when you are answering questions. Okay? Let's move on to question B. Okay, so here you will get 50 marks, right? When it comes to question 2, read this like it is an introduction which is related to these questions, right? Miss Clara Vance, the chief executive officer of Nortec, made an abrupt decision to initiate a major organizational restructuring, right? The primary motivation behind this move was to bolster the company's future competitiveness and align with a new 10-year strategic blueprint. However, this decision faced an opposition from several managers who argued that it was not the result of collaborative group discussion. ටිකක් Greek වගේ නේද? Okay. Now look at the questions. List two different group decision making techniques that the CEO of Novatech could have implemented. So you don't want to think about this deep explanation or deep words, but focused on the question like different group decision making techniques, right? For the CEO of Novatech that she can implement, right? List down two different group technique decision making techniques. So what are these group decision making techniques you have learned so far? There's Delphi technique, right? Deduct method and nominal group technique, brainstorming. Can you remember these techniques? Which we have completed under decision making. So you have to state what two of those four decision making techniques, right? Maybe Delphi method, right? Or maybe deduct method, like it's referred to the educational authoritative decision making, or else nominal group techniques. Like there's a structured method to prioritize the idea and by combining individual and group inputs, right? And then brainstorming. So you can go for answers like Delphi technique or brainstorming for this kind of a question. State four barriers faced by managers when adapting rational making, decision making. So you will get four questions, 4 marks here, right? So what are the barriers? Lack of information, time constraint, emotional biases of individuals, and some people may not like resistance to change, right? In this yes. So those are the four barriers that you can mention. Explain two importances of decision making. So what are the importance of decision making? Decision making, if you can make decisions on your organization, right? Decision making. What is the benefit? What is the importance? So you have to explain it. Let's say it will help us to achieve a goal. That's the first answer, right? So you can explain a bit, right? So decision making ensure that the right actions are taken to meet organizational or personal objectives. So it also aligns resources and effort towards set goals, right? So you can explain it. And then, yeah, the second point would be improve efficiency. ඊළඟ උත්තරේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? So you can explain a good decision reduce delays, avoid unnecessary work, and make better use of time and resources, which will affect in improving efficiency, right? And again, another answer would be encourage innovation and growth, right? So you can write businesses, they can explore new opportunities, improve processes, and they can stay competitive in the market, right? So you can build up your question, right? You can explain these points in your terms, in your words, right? And also another example would be support teamwork and participation. So here, team members, they can participate in decision making, which will boost their morale, right? Which will encourage collaboration and lead more accepted and effective solutions like that. So you can build up your answers, right? Clear? motivate subordinates. Is yeah. Okay. Now I'm moving to the next question. Is it clear, Lamai? If you have any questions, please ask, right? So I have focused on decision making in this question, right? So you can refer to various decision making techniques, right? Barriers, advantages, right? Importance. So you can like focus on those areas, and also please remember to refer those past papers as well, right, related to decision making. Yeah, question 3, it's about motivation, right? And leadership and motivation, right? This is under the I created this question from that chapter, leadership and motivation, right? Motivation is an individual emotional attribute that significantly influence a person's level of dedication and commitment to a task or goal. Among the various motivational theories, Herzberg two-factor theory stand out as particularly influential. So what is the other? So here, hope you can remember this, right? So when it comes to leadership and motivation, right, we have discussed about content theories. Can you see the screen? Amma, can you see this? So when it comes, can you see this PPT that I'm sharing? Can someone answer, please? Vidya. Okay. So when it comes to motivational theories, we have identified there are two types of motivational theories. One is content theory, and the other is one is the process theory. Right here, when it comes to content theories, it is about before we starting our jobs, right? So process theories means when we are working, how we are going to motivate our employees. So when it comes to content theories, right? Content theories, we are focusing on two theories. Like when it in your chapter, it has focused on two theories. One is Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The other one is two-factor theory by Frederick Herzberg. And then this is two-factor theory, right? In your question, it asks. Sorry, Devi. Devi. Yeah. So when it comes to Herzberg two-factor theory, right? Here he's talking about two factors, right? It's hygiene factors and motivational factors. So when it comes to hygiene factors, right? These are the factors that create negative attitude about work, right? And also it creates dissatisfaction. So working conditions are not into their like level, right? If job security is absent, like if it is job security is not there, right? So this when it comes to interpersonal relationships, if like if there are no any collaborations, teamwork, right? So it will reduce the like it will create dissatisfaction about the working environment. If there are tough supervisors, right? So it will create job dissatisfaction. So these are the hygiene factors which create negative attitude about the work, right? And it create burdensome and non-aligned mismatch like working environment. Like when it comes to yeah, so when it comes to motivator factors, these are the factors that create positive attitude about the work, right? Which create a passion, confidence, sense of proudness at work, right? And these factors create employee satisfaction, like challenging work. So, which will match with my capacity. I'm getting a challenging work that I love to do that. So that's a motivational factor for me. Career advancement, a sense of achievement, recognition, They are giving high recognition for my performances, my achievements. So it will create satisfaction, employee satisfaction. So this is how you should. What are these are the things that you should include in your answer, right? Yes. So back to the paper. It's the paper now. Yeah. So explain Herzberg two-factor theory. So you have to mention what are the hygiene factors, right? What do you mean by hygiene factor, right? So and then what are the examples for hygiene factors, and then motivator factors. What do you mean by motivator factors? An example. If you can provide an example, a common example for them, so you can provide, right? So you have to explain Herzberg two-factor theory there, and explain two signs which indicate employees are motivated. මේ question එකෙන් අහන්නේ, right? Explain two signs which indicate employees are motivated. Also, you will get a question like explain signs which employees are demotivated. Indicate that employees are demotivated, right? Question එහෙම question එකක් අහන්න පුළුවන්, right? So how you feel that if employees are motivated, we can observe high productivity, positive attitudes of them, right? They are more enthusiastic, or right, they enjoy their work, right? And initiativity and creativity, low absenteeism, right? They are trying to come to work daily, right? And willingness to learn, they are focusing on their growth, right? They attend trainings, right? They are giving their feedbacks, right? And team collaboration, loyalty to the organizations, you can observe them when you have motivated employees. And think about if you have demotivated team of employees, what will happen? Huh? So that mark that, highlight that, right? So මේ question එක අනිත් පැත්තට කරකිලා එන්න පුළුවන් demotivated employees ලා හිටියොත් කොහොමද? Right? And here it is about two-factor theory, which is this is not a process theory. This is a like content theory. So they might ask about process theories here, right? If you are getting question from leadership and motivation, then the examiner might focus on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or else two-factor theory, or else process theories, right? So yeah. Then the question 4, right? It is on marketing, right? Marketing is essential for business to understand effectively reach their target audience. Companies like Nova Edge, Consumer Solutions, fast-growing firm use strategic marketing approaches such as segmentation, branding, digital tool to stay competitive and connect with consumers globally. So you are required to explain marketing segmentation with examples. You got a one question from marketing segmentation, and now it also asks about to explain marketing segmentation with examples, right? And state 4 P's of marketing mix. Right? So when it comes to marketing segmentation, right? Marketing segmentation is the process of dividing marketing into distinct groups with similar needs, right? You have, when it comes to explain, you have to give examples. So my example would be a clothing brand targeting youth with trendy wear and adult with formal wear. Right? So here, when it comes to this kind of a question, which will get 4 marks, right? You have to explain this term in your words, right? And you have to give examples, right? So marketing mix, at least you will get 1 or 2 marks for this. And the other rest of the marks would be
for this, right? So remember to give examples. Create your examples, your own examples. Then the next part, this is state 4 P's of marketing mix. Briefly explain one of them. So, when it comes to marketing, right? Gampha Lamai, I'll cover it when it comes to marketing chapter, right? So, when it comes to marketing, there are 4 P's and 7 P's. මේ 4 P's අපි මෙන්ෂන් කරන්න කිව්වහම අර 7 P's ඇතුලේ තියෙන කිසිම P එකක් මේකට අපි ලියනවද? නැහැ. So when it comes to 4 P's of marketing, it's only product, price, place, and promotion. Right? That's only product, price, place, and promotion. And you have to explain one of them. It also get 4 marks. Right? You will get at least 2 for this, and you will get 2 for this. Right? So when it comes to product, so that is what a business offer, goods or services, right? It includes quality, design, features, and branding. What ethically warranty. And when it comes to price, if you are selecting price, right? It's the amount customer for pay for the product, right? It involves pricing strategies, discounts, payment terms. එහෙම දෙයක් ඔයාලට ලියන්න පුළුවන්, right? And then place, how and where the product is made available to the customers, right? So it includes the distribution channels. Sorry about my noise. I'm not okay, but so that's why my voice is like අර නිකන් අමුතු අමුතු වෙලා තියෙන. Sorry. මගේ නහය බ්ලොක් වෙලා තියෙන මට tonsils. So yeah, includes like it talks about the distributional channels, location, logistics, right? So you have to write them. If you're selecting promotions, right? How the product is communicated to the market, maybe through social media, sales promotion, advertising. මේ මොකක් හරි එකක් ගැන මේ 4 ලියලා මේ එකක් ගැන briefly explain කරන්න කියලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මෙතන questions දෙකක් තියෙනවා ළමයි. See, state 4 P's and briefly explain one of them. There are 2 questions here. මම හිතනවා ඔයාලට එහෙම question එකක් එන්නේ නැති වෙයි කියලා. හැබැයි in case ආවොතින් කියලා I have added this question to here. Right? So, with that, I will also explain 7 P's, right? For this 4 P's, product, price, and place and promotion, we can add people, process, and physical evidences. So altogether, we can call 7 P's, right? Yeah. So when it comes to 7 P's, these are especially useful in service marketing, right? So there are 2 differences between 4 P's and 7 P's. Please refer that part as well, right? State 2 advantage of digital marketing. What is digital marketing? We can refer digital marketing as all marketing efforts, right, that utilize electronic devices or internet. That is digital marketing, right? Advantages. What are the advantages? You have to state, you have only mentioned the advantages. No need to explain this what is the digital marketing and all. No need to give examples. Just mention 2 advantages. Like it is bit cost effective rather than traditional methods. These digital methods are cost effective, right? There's a global reach, and we can measure results. We have Google as example. We have Google Analytics and all. So you have to mention the point: cost effective, global reach, measurable results, right? Targeted advertising, fast and flexible, right? Better engagement, increased brand awareness, right? So you can state those advantages. If the examiner has asked to explain, so you have to explain each point, right? So you have to think about the question as well as the marks allocated for this question. When we are moving to question 5, right? So here, explain forces of change with examples. You will get 4 marks for this. So you have to explain, right? Forces of change with examples. So you have to explain first the forces of change. There are 2. external forces and internal forces. So for these two, you have to give examples. Divide this into two. මේ වගේ question එකක් ආවොත්. හරිද? So here, forces of change, we can divide into two, right? So you can use a table here, right? So you can divide this into two. This side for external factors, this side for internal factors. And then you can write all the external factors here and all the internal factors here. When it comes to external factors, economic factors like inflation, unemployment, right? And social factors like lifestyle, consumer behavior, political factors, changes in government policies, regulations, right? And technological advances, innovations, right? And then when it comes to next would be competition, right? And legal and regulatory changes. So these are the external factors. You can write the external factor and you can give a brief example, one or two examples. And then here, when it comes to internal factors, business strategy, right? So changes in leadership. And when it then organizational culture, our values, norms, behaviors, right? Leadership styles, and workflow dynamics like skills, demographics, right? And technological adoptions, changes in performance and efficiency, innovation, employee behavior attitude. These are external factors which we can observe within the organization. So you can divide this into two and write your answer accordingly, right? එතකොට ඒක ඔයාලට ලේසි වෙනවා, right? You can manage your time as well. Okay. Explain one type of change from Nadland Tushman's four types of organizational change. What is this? This comes under change management, right? This change can either be gradual or incremental or revolutionary or strategy, right? So you have to focus. There are four changes, right? What's the question? Yeah. Type of changes. They are like tuning, adaptation or flexibility, reorientation, recreation. So you have to like explain one type of change of Nadland Tushman's four type of organizational change. So you don't want to write these all four types, right? Or else when you are starting, you can mention like this. There are four types of change according to Nadland Tushman's, right? They are like tuning, adaptation or flexibility, reorientation, and recreation. Then you can move on to your topic. If you are selecting tuning as your one type that you are going to explain, so it is more proactive or it means small improvement made in advance to keep system or process efficient. Example, Toyota, they follow Kaizen method, a continuous small changes for quality improvement, right? So you can explain that. You will get only 3 marks. So that's enough, right? So you have answered, you know that 4 types, and then you select one of them, you explain that 1 point, and then you have given an example. That's totally enough, right? And when it comes to what action should take and as a manager to overcome resistance to change in your organization. So what are the actions? Make a සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔයාලට answer කරන්න එන question එකක්, right? ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අහන්න ඉඩ තියෙනවා සහ අහලා තියෙනවා, right? So how you overcome resistance to change your organization? So you have to answer like how you are going to overcome the resistance to change. People, they don't like to change, right? So how you overcome this issue? So as a manager, කොහොමද ඔයාලට උත්තර දෙන්නේ? You can educate them and communicate them, right? You can increase their participation or involvement in decision-making process. You can facilitate with support. You can go for negotiations and agreements, right? And you can write what are the things that you can do as a manager, right? When people resist to change, you can create your own idea, your own answer, right? Which will get only 3 marks. And question 6. Here, I have focused on HRM chapter here. So define recruitment. So when it comes to HRM, right, there are things that we can define. Like there are job design, job specification, job description, recruitment, selection, ගොඩාක් දේවල් training and development terms ගොඩාක් තියෙන subject එක, right? So I ask you to define recruitment, right? So in your own words. So you don't want to write the definitions on books or someone's definitions. You can create your own definition, right? So here definition එක create කරනකොට අපි බලන්න ඕනි ඒකෙදි අපි දෙන්න ඕනි main points මොනවාද කියලා, right? So when it comes to recruitment, it is process of attracting a pool of qualified candidates. That's the simple idea, right? So it is a process of attracting and gathering a pool of qualified candidates to apply for job vacancies in an organization. So the main idea would be process of attracting and gathering a pool of candidates, qualified candidates, right? So explain two types of recruitment methods. So you know that there are two types of recruitment method. One is internal recruitment, right? So we are filling vacancies within the existing workforce. The other one would be external recruitment. So you need to write these two. Again, you can use a table here, right? Like in this question, the above question, like Nadler's Tasman's 4 type of organization change, right? Sorry. These forces of change, right? You can use a table here, right? You can write internal recruitment and external recruitment in these two sides, and then you can explain to give examples, right? And give a brief introduction for these two, right? Under internal recruitment, it involves job vacancies within the organization, right? And through skill inventories, job posting, and bidding, we can, those are examples for internal recruitment. And when it comes to external recruitment, it is attracting candidates from outside the organization. So that we call new blood to the organization, right? There we can use the methods like walk-in, write-in interviews, educationally, we can go educational institutions like that. So those are some examples. So you can write examples as well, right? So you can use this table here. And then state two important reasons why induction is important. මේකත් ඇවිල්ලා තිබ question එකක් past papers වල එන්න පුළුවන් question එකක්, right? Induction is important. Induction means, what is this? So when a newcomer comes to an organization, we need to introduce the organizational culture, right, to that person. So you need to train that person. That is what we call induction in brief, right? So you have to state only two important reasons. Just state, right? Like to eliminate fear and build confidence in the new employee. That's one answer. To improve productivity and performance, right? So that's another answer, right? So you can write state two importance of induction. Or you have to understand these terms, right? They might ask why write the important reasons why training and development is important, right? Why induction is important, right? Why human resource planning is important to an organization, right? Why creating job description is important, right? Like that. Why what else? So this only this point can be changed, right? So yes, you have to have some idea about each step of HRM function. So this is one function of HRM, right? This is another function, right? Yeah. Briefly explain the classification of total rewards. Can you remember total rewards? It's a what? Total rewards can another. Total rewards? Financial rewards plus non-financial rewards. එතකොට මොකද කරන්නේ? Briefly explain the classification. You can draw the chart, right? Of total rewards. Like this. මෙන්න මේ chart එක ඔයාලට අඳින්න පුළුවන්. තේරෙනවද? මේ වගේ question එකක් ඇහුවොතින් briefly explain the classification of total rewards. So total rewards means financial or extrinsic rewards and intrinsic rewards, non-financial rewards. So here, direct and indirect benefits are there. When it comes to non-financial, it's about satisfaction and praise and recognition. So you can draw this chart here, right? The examiner will give you the full marks for this, right? This contains all the things that related to this total rewards. Got it? So don't afraid, right? We have like given all the points that are needed to write this paper, right? To complete this paper. So follow these chapters, follow these PPTs and all. You have all the answers there, right? Yeah. So that is how you should answer this total reward question. That kind of a question, right? Okay, now I'm moving to the last part of this paper, which is important, one of the important questions, which will give you 25 marks, right? This is section C. You need to read this case study first, right? I'll give you a few minutes to read this. Okay, you can read with me. Prime Tech is a mid-sized electronic manufacturing company in Sri Lanka that began as a small assembly unit. Over the last 5 years, the company has expanded rapidly and now export its product to South Asia and part of the Middle East. Recently, the company's management decided to revamp its operation management practices to maintain competitiveness, improve quality, and reduce production delays. As a part of this transformation, PrimeTech has invested in modern facility layout redesign, including implementing cellular manufacturing to enhance efficiency. Cellular manufacturing to enhance efficiency, right? Management has also initiated demand forecasting and capacity planning to reduce overproduction and stock outs. However, the rapid shift in operation brought resistance from several departments, particularly from older employees unfamiliar with modern scheduling software and automated systems. In response, the HR department introduced quality circles to engage employee in problem solving and encouraging feedback during the transition. To further streaming operations, PrimeTech is also exploring total quality management and integrating CAD/CAM technologies into their product development and product lines. These changes aim to reduce defects, improve delivery times, and offer more customized solutions to customers. So this is the chapter. චූටි වෙලාවක් අරගෙන ඔයාලට කියවන්න පුළුවන්. So you are required to only state 4 key functions of operation management that are relevant to PrimeTech current transformation. Relevant to PrimeTech current transformation. Right? So what are they? You can write capacity planning, layout design, capacity planning. It has mentioned here, right? And then layout designing. It also there. This is cellular manufacturing, right? And then production scheduling and quality management. So you can write those things, right? So those are the one of 4 key functions, right? Few key functions of operation management. So you can get 4 marks from this, right? By stating these key functions. Explain how proper layout design can improve operational efficiency in PrimeTech mention, right? Mentioned 2 types of layout and their suitability for different production needs. So here there are 2 questions here. It will get 6 marks, right? So explain how proper layout design. What is layout? How we have designed our flow, right? So here the proper layout, it will enhance the flow of material, right? Human resource. And also it will reduce the transformation time and it improves the work productivity. At Prime Tech, a new layout will minimize the delays and support lean manufacturing principles. So you have to combine the answer with Prime Tech. Prime Tech එකෙත් මෙහෙම වෙනවා. කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? You have to mention that. And you have to write mention two types of layout that their suitability for different production needs, right? So you have to write two layouts like cellular layout, which is mentioned in here. Their machines are grouped by similar processing needs. Example, Prime Tech uses this assemble product component efficiently, enabling flexibility and cross-trained workers. So you have to combine the Prime Tech term, right, with the answer. එතකොට තමයි එක්සැමිනර්ට තේරෙන්නේ ළමයා මේ කේස් එක ස්ටඩි කරලා තියෙනවා මෙයා උත්තර දෙන්නේ කියන්නේ මේක ඉන්ටර්නල් පාර්ටි එකක view එකකින් එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ කේස් ස්ටඩි එක රිලේට් කරගෙන right එතකොට එහෙම ඒක එක්සැමිනර් ගේ ඔළුවට යනවා right like that. Describe two capacity management strategies that Prime Tech can adopt and explain how each help to balance production with demand. So this is C, right? So you can chase the demand strategy, right? Or demand management strategy. Like that you have to explain or describe, right? There you can write about benefits, right? Of this capacity management strategies, right? Like that. And then explain three benefits that Prime Tech may gain by implementing total quality management. So here you have to have a good idea about total quality management, right? Then based on that, you can create your answer. So they're expecting continuous improvement. So total quality management will help them to foster a culture of ongoing improvement. I told you total quality management is focusing on continuous improvement, right? Which helps the Prime Tech to maintain high productive standards as well. And then customer satisfaction, improve product quality and through improving product quality and consistency. Total quality management helps to build loyalty and reduce complaints, right? And cost efficiency, like total quality management also reduce waste, errors, right? Rework. So these benefits are there. So you can write these benefits. You have to align your answer with Prime Tech, right? And then describe three ways if you want to get full marks, you have to align your answers with Prime Tech Lamai, right? Describe three ways in which Prime Tech can overcome employee resistance to change during transition to modern operation management. So, what is this? Overcome employee resistance to change. So, you have to answer it like a manager from Prime Tech, right? So you can write the answers like you can involve your employees through quality circles. අපි quality circles කියලා දෙයක් ගැන කතා කරනවානේ. Right? මේ quality circles වලට you can engage your employees, right? So you can get their benefit or opinions. You have to describe this answer. You have to write the point and you have to describe it. You have to explain it a bit. And then one point is employee involvement through quality circles, where you can engage employees in identifying and solving operational problems. And second one would be training and development. Like you can offer upskilling for employee unfamiliar with technology, like scheduling software, CAD/CAM systems, right? And then clear communication with your employees. So you can, you have to describe that as well. So you can go for that kind of answers, right? So this is how you should answer when it comes to this kind of a question. So you have to show them, show your examiner, like I have a good idea about the question, this context, right? You have to align your questions according to the context, right? Yeah, so we have come to an end. Do you have any problems or do you have any things to that clear out? Any issues? Do you need any clarifications? No, teacher. So my advice is to like read this like if you are a student from V-Learning, right? Try to highlight the areas that I've shown you in through these videos, right? And try to highlight your PPT. Just refer your PPT when you are listening to your audios, right? And then try to highlight them. And when those who are in my physical classes, you can also do that. You have done that before, right? So when it comes to lessons like introduction to management, you can have like just try to have a brief idea about uh, this what is management, right? And then like this what do you call this effectiveness, right? Efficiency. Yes, Mushfika, I'll share it. This paper, the one I explained right now, Mushfika, the model paper, right? The last year one, last term one. Actually, we can't totally guess, right? We are not examiners, but when it comes to like when we are referring to past papers, right? You know that we can identify there are several questions that are repeating. So when it comes to efficiency, effectiveness, as I told you, right? And then when it comes to this, sorry, wait. This decision making and decision making techniques when it comes to planning, like questions like areas like this importance of planning, right? And then advantages. And when it comes to they might have this not about vision, like this objective, I mean this area, right? Uh, and then the planning process, right? Uh, this like the types of plans, right? Strategic, tactical, and operational. See, and then they might ask about the contingency plan, right? So you know about tactic, strategic, and operational plans. This contingency plan, do you have any idea about contingency plans, right? So you have to rate them, right? Contingency plans. And then like management by objectives. That is one possible question, right? Management by objectives. And also, they might ask to compare with traditional management uh, and these are Japanese management techniques or Western management techniques with Japanese management techniques. Like that, they might ask, right? ඒකත් නිතරම ආව question එකක්. Yes. And organizational structure, there are several structures, right? I couldn't able to include one question from that, right? I taught you different structures, right? So they might ask the importance of organizing, right? That's a possible question. And this authority, responsibility, right? Accountability, differences between them, right? They might have asked like, what is authority? What is responsibility? What is accountability? Give examples, right? What's the difference? What are the differences, right? See, differences of authority and responsibility, right? And then various structures, divisional structures are there, functional structures are there, the advantages and disadvantages also there, right? And then another point would be delegation of authority, right? like that. Here, the process of delegation of authority, importance and advantages of delegation, and then the barriers of delegator, like that. So those are the and then when it comes to corporate restructuring, what is corporate restructuring, right? Like what is financial restructuring, what is organizational restructuring? Give examples, right? Symptoms, advantages of restructuring, disadvantages of restructuring. Those are like අපිට exactly මොකක්ද කියන්න බෑ. හැබැයි past papers refer කරපුවාම මේ හැමතැනකින්ම question කරලා තියෙනවා year to year, right? So ඒ විදිහට අර important parts තියෙනවානේ මේක එක chapters වල. ඒවා ටිකක් focus කරා නම් හොඳයි, right? Importance of leadership, right? Then leader versus manager. This is another possible question. Compare between leader and a manager, right? And then theories related to leadership. මේ වගේ. And then motivational theories. ගොඩක් possible questions මේ Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, two-factor theory, right? Good. And then process theories. They might ask about equity theory, right? Expectancy theory. මොකද මේවා ඔයාලගේ handbook එකේ තියෙනවා ළමයි. හරිද? So like that. And then communication is there, right? Downward, upward communication, the controlling, right? So when it comes to controlling, characteristics, limitations, right? There are levels. And then the strategic control, the types of strategic control. මේ වගේ. And then the differences between strategic control and operational control. The relationship between, I don't think it will come, but the relationship between controlling and planning. Right? So these kind of things are there when it comes to planning. You have to focus on them. So like that, yeah, marketing management will get, especially remember 4 P's, 7 P's, what is a product, right? What is service, what is a service, right? This is marketing mix, right? Try to remember some like examples, right? And then like what is promotion, right? This is 7 P's of marketing. What is market segmentation, targeting, positioning? ඔක්කොම එන්නේ නැති වෙයි. හැබැයි කීපයක් එන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Like that. මම මේ කියන්නේ එක එක reasons වල highlight කරලා පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න ඕනි areas ටික, right? So HRM, change management, strategic management, operation management මේ ටිකක් තියෙනවා. So ඒ වගේ පොඩ්ඩක් අර past papers refer කරන්න මොනවද වැඩිපුර ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්න, right? So yeah, any I'll share that paper, the last year model paper, in the group, right? So you all of you can download it from there. So yeah, any questions, clarifications, or else shall we wind up? Yes. Thank you very much for attending this session, and I wish you all the best, all of you. Like, don't afraid, right? You can successfully like face this exam. I'm pretty sure. Try to do your best. Try to answer your best. Try to do your best at the exam, right? Just read carefully and take like try to extract things into the mind, right? අර හරියට ප්‍රශ්නේ දකින්න, right? හරියට පිළිවෙලට ප්‍රශ්නේ හදාගෙන ඉන්න ලියන්න කලින් මේක ලියලා කාටු කූටු ගාලා ඊට පස්සේ තව ප්‍රශ්නයකට මාරු වෙන්න එහෙම කරන්නේ නැතිව, right? So ඒ වගේ ඔයාලට පුළුවන් පිළිවෙලට ප්‍රශ්නයක් හදාගෙන ලියන්න, like that. I wish you all the best. මම හිතනවා ඔක්කොම හොඳ pass result එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා. Yeah, thank you so much for joining with us today. Thank you.